Sir Ed Davey has issued a rather unusual rallying cry from the shores of Bournemouth Beach, a call to Britain's business leaders, city grandees, captains of industry to help him stop the rise of Nigel Farage's Reform UK. I think that's a sensible call. One part politics, one part plea, one part paddleboarding stunt. But behind the comic imagery lies something serious, the sense that British liberalism believes the country itself is in peril. And Davey's argument is simple. He says the Lib Dems are the true voice of British values: decency, tolerance, respect for the rule of law, and internationalism. In contrast, Reform UK only offers slogans, the angry catchphrases of a man who wants to burn Britain, who wants to turn it into a cut-priced Trumpism, a Trumpistan. Businesses, he argues, should see through Farage's carnival barker routine, reach into their pockets and back the Lib Dems. Now the request is striking. Traditionally, the Lib Dems have not been the natural party of big business. They were the party of tactical protest votes, the party of roundabouts and recycling schemes. Yet today Davey presents them as the guardians of stability, the partners who will restore economic order through a customs union with the EU, while Farage dreams of bonfires and border walls. Some will scoff at Davey's inconsistency. How can one be pro-business while calling for a £7 billion windfall tax on banks? His reply is that higher interest rates have given banks unearned billions, and that fairness demands those excess profits be channeled back into public services. This, he insists, is not anti-business but pro-Britain, an investment in long-term stability. And here lies the contrast. Farage's pitch is built on grievance, letters dropping through every household door saying nothing works anymore. He offers despair dressed up as patriotism. Davey, for all his clowning, argues for hope, rebuild relations with Europe, ease trade, lower borrowing costs and attract green investment. Reform wants to torch net zero. The Lib Dems want to pitch it as an economic opportunity. Davey is also explicit about the international stakes. He likens Farage to Elon Musk and Donald Trump, billionaires and populists who see regulation and responsibility as the enemy. The Lib Dems, by contrast, claim to be the bulwark. A Farage fighting fund has been set up with donations pouring in from those who fear Britain slipping into nationalist authoritarianism. Of course, the numbers still tell a harsh truth. Reform leads in the polls, while the Lib Dems languish around 15%, but politics is fought seat by seat at a general election, and Davey is not wrong that when Liberal Democrats stand firmly in local battles, as in Hull, Devon or Shropshire, Farage's bluster often evaporates at the doorstep. There is, though, a deeper irony. Davey, the man who once paddled into the headlines by tumbling into a lake, now casts himself as the serious defender of national stability. Farage, the man who thrives on the pint and the cigarette, poses as the voice of the nation. The choice for Britain's business class is not between two juggernauts, but between the clown who wants to keep the circus light-hearted and the ringmaster who wants to burn down the tent. So, Ed Davey's message to business is blunt. If you love your country, if you want prosperity without poison backers, write cheques, fund campaigns, help hold back the tide of populist nationalism that could corrode democracy itself, that could ruin our country. Whether city boardrooms will answer his call remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The battle between Farage and Davey is no longer comic sideshow. It is the defining struggle of Britain's political fringe. The question of whether protest votes turn into power, or whether liberal centrism can still rally the country's institutions to say, enough! Enough!